Welcome student, how are you? Hope you all are fine. Taking the lesson agriculture forward. Today we will discuss about food security in India. Today we will discuss about food security of India. It is closely related to agriculture. You know that food is a basic need and every citizen of the country should have access to food which provides minimum nutritional level. If any segment of our population does not have this access, that segment suffer from lack of food security. The number of people who do not have food security is disproportionately large in some regions of our country, particularly in economically less developed state with higher incidence of poverty. The remote areas of the country are more prone to natural disasters and uncertain food supply. In order to ensure availability of food to all sections of society, our government carefully designed a national food security system to ensure availability of food to all sections of society. It consists of two components, buffer stocks and PDS distribution system. As you know that PDS is a program which provides food grains and other essentials commodities at subsidized price in rural and urban areas. India's food security policy has a primary objective to ensure availability of food grains to the common people at an affordable price. It has enabled the poor to have access to food. The focus of the policy is on growth in the agriculture production and on fixing the support price for procurement of wheat and rice to maintain their stocks. Food Corporation of India is responsible for procuring and stocking food grains, whereas distribution is ensured by public distribution system. The primary objective of national food security are to ensure food availability to all. Poor should have access to food at affordable price. It also focuses on increasing the agricultural production and fixing the procurement price to maintain their stock through the FCI. The FCI procures food grains from the farmers at the government announced minimum support price. The government used to provide subsidized on agriculture inputs such as fertilizer, power and water, but most of the drawback cases found against it, these subsidized have now reached unstable levels and have also led to large scale inefficiencies in the use of these scarce inputs. Excessive and imprudent use of fertilizer and water has led to waterlogging, salinity and depletion of essential micronutrients in the soil. The high MSP subsidized in input and committed FCI purchase have distorted the cropping pattern. Wheat and paddy crops are being grown more for MSP they get. Punjab and Haryana are foremost example. This has also created a serious imbalance in their intercrop parities. The big farmers with deeper tubewells still have water, but many others face a water crisis. Inadequate shortage and marketing facility also act as a disincentives to the farmer. Thus, the farmers are badly affected by the uncertainties of production and market. They suffer from a double disadvantage as they pay high price for inputs such as HYB seeds, fertilizers, etc., but lack the bargaining power to fix price in their favor. All the production reaches the market simultaneously. The higher the supply, the lower is the demand. This causes distress sale also. Therefore, there can be no food security without the security of the small farmers. Nowadays, agriculture is most affected of globalization. So, we need to know about the impact of globalization on agriculture. Globalization is not a new phenomenon. It was there at the time of colonization. In the 19th century, when European traders came to India, at that time two Indian spices were exported to different countries of the world, and farmers of South India were encouraged to grow these crops. Till today, it is one of the important items of export from India. During the British period, cotton belts of India attracted the British, and ultimately cotton was exported to Britain as a raw material for their textile industries. Cotton textile industry in Manchester and Liverpool flourished due to the availability of good quality cotton from India. You have read about Champaran movement, which started in 1917 in Bihar. This was started because farmers of that region were forced to grow indigo on their land because it was necessary for the textile industries which were located in Britain. They were unable to grow food grains to sustain their families. Under globalization, particularly after 1990, the farmer in India have been exposed to new challenges. Despite being an important producer of rice, cotton, rubber, tea, coffee, jute and spices, our agriculture products are not able to compete with the developed countries because of the highly subsidized agriculture in those countries. Overuse of chemicals, drying aquifers and vanishing biodiversity leads land degradation. Indian farmers have a bleak future if they continue growing food grains on the holdings that grow smaller and smaller as the population rises. In fact, organic farming is much in vogue today because it is practiced without factory-made chemicals such as fertilizers and pesticides. Hence, it does not affect environment in a negative manner. Indian farmers should diversify their cropping pattern from cereals to high-value crops. This will increase incomes and reduce environmental degradation simultaneously. That's all for today. We will discuss next chapter in next video. Thank you.